All right, Brennan Taylor here, True School Sports. I'm with one of the most entertaining fighters in boxing right now, the Wolf, Elijah Pierce. Good to have you back, man.
Oh man, always, bro. You already know. Hit my line. We're gonna make it happen.
Nah, for sure. I'm glad you took the time, man. Before we get into any of the boxing stuff, I wanted to first of all congratulate you on a couple things beyond boxing. I know you had the birth of your son earlier this year, and then you had your daughter had a children's book, right? Comic book.
Yeah, man. Yeah, she. I'm just trying to get a couple different things in line for her. Like I said, she's 8, going on 9 years old. So obviously the goal is to create a difference in childhood for her than myself, of course. So if I can kind of align some things in entertainment and whatever else, to gain favor for her, or to create any opportunities, further in her life, then that I'm gonna do so.
I thought it was dope because I don't normally see young kids with their own comic books, so that was pretty cool to me.
Hey, shit, bro.
Yeah. But as far as the boxing is concerned, you know, you actually contacted me recently because I guess you maybe watched the recent video I did or something like that, and
Yeah.
you were pleased with what I was saying, or you like what I was saying, and then you said something interesting. You said that a lot of times, or I said a lot of times that fighters can't get up for fights that aren't the big fights. They got to have danger to leave every part of themselves in the gym, to be the best they could be. What I wanted to ask you, Elijah, is how do you become a more like consistent fighter when you're not fighting the big names? How do you go from being just a guy who's very good, who's good and explosive, but how do you go to a guy that can have consistent performances fight after fight after fight?
Man, by giving me the best, giving me the big
Yeah,
opportunity. As simple as that.
yeah,
I mean, I've all like I said, no matter what, let's people can nitpick all they
hmm
want to, but let's be for real. When we talk about consistency,
correct.
I've always delivered.
Yeah,
Whether it's the knockout or whether it's just the win, regardless. Now, most of the time it is the knockout because I go for the knockout. But that's just being truthful about it. So people can try to nitpick and say, "Oh, well, I'm not this, or I'm not as skilled, or I'm not this, or I'm not giving." And which I understand because end of the day, people are always going to judge what they don't understand.
correct.
And you know what I'm saying? And if you don't know me or know where I come from, know the root of how I've always been, that's always been a nature of me. And I don't, and I ain't even saying like I agree with it or like it. Like even with basketball, um, uh football, I mean whatever. It was like for some reason whenever I would go against competition I know I can beat, I never had my best performances. When it was always when I had the doubts and always, oh, he gonna get not or get beat by him, or he can't play against him, he too short, whatever. It just I always had my best games. I always had my best performances. It was either like that even in the amateurs. I remember when I fought Antonio Russell.
Okay.
I remember he was knocking out, man, he knocked out maybe 2 or 3 guys. He even knocked out at the tournament when we fought each other. He knocked out my homeboy. I mean, he didn't knock him out, but he knocked him down. Like he almost slept him. And I remember like everybody was like, "Oh, like you got to fight Gary." Like, oh, they was kind of like scared for me. And I remember that was I'll beat Gary. That and that was like the fight that really gained me notoriety around Georgia. That was the one that like let people put me on notice and like, oh, this new kid from Oklahoma is cold, like he good. So then what I'm saying. So it's been a replication of that as time went on. I've done it in so many different cases, different instances. Even when I sparred with Tank, that was
Mm.
the whole significance of that Tank sparring. Tank is Tank. I mean, back then he wasn't necessarily as big as he was, but he was still a rising star.
It's a top fighter.
Yeah, exactly. And for me to had been this new dude in the gym, whatever, and I came in and I did what I did as a Tank that day. Oh, whoa, who it is? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it just goes to show, like I said, and people will see, and I don't mind the critics. I don't mind all the um, all that, because at the end of the day, it comes with the territory. But given time, I'm only learning and growing in this sport because I really have not had as much experience as my counterparts. If you really be honest, I although I had a pretty decent amateur career, it really only started from what. I mean, I started at 6, but I would only box in the summertime. That's it,
Okay.
summertime. And then eventually I started actually taking boxing serious going into my junior year of high school. So I'm about 17, about
How
17,
how
17,
many amateur fights in total did you have?
50.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. So that's not a whole lot, but
Exactly.
I feel like I, a lot of fighters who have between that 50 and 80 range, I like those guys a lot better than sometimes than the guys who have 300 because the guys at 200 or 300, they have too much of the amateur habits built into them. So I feel like it's easier to adapt to the pros for the guys who have 50 or 70 fights as opposed to 2 or 300.
Right. See,
Yeah.
I always was told I had a pro style. Like I was always told that. So I was already kind of in that going towards that trajectory, from the beginning anyway. My father would always tell me, he's like, you're going to be a great pro because you already have a style similar to that. I actually had to learn, like after like my second national tournament, I had to learn how to adapt to the amateur style, and I did. That's actually how I became a pressure fighter because I was always an outboxer. I was always a boxer. I used to fight on the back foot. I never knew how to go forward until I had to learn and adjust because I used to lose a lot of times close fights because of me receding, just ring generalship, stuff like that.
Correct. Correct. Okay. Okay. Well, I guess the better question is maybe not consistency, but like, how do you have cleaner performance? That's what I'm trying to say. Because like
Yeah, yeah,
Dasmarinas, you got dropped. Villanueva, you got dropped in that fight, I believe, as well.
yeah, yeah,
How do you get to a place where no matter who you fight, whether it's a top guy, mid guy, low guy,
yeah.
how do you have cleaner performances?
I mean, really, man, just I have to. I'm not gonna put the blame on nobody. In the end of the day, it's me. I'm the head of my team, obviously, but it just fixing the little mistakes. Like I said, people don't understand where I come from. They don't know what it took for me to get here. They don't understand the background of which I come. All that. It's just a lot to it. You know what I'm saying? I have to be more well endowed in my training camps. There were some faults in the training camp, that I had. I think I spoke in a different interview before, like, but I didn't even spar any southpaws for this fight. Like I
Oh,
had no,
damn.
yeah, I had no southpaw sparring.
Was that because you couldn't find any southpaw sparring? Because I know it's difficult sometimes to find.
Well, no, I mean, I found some, but it was just the circumstances didn't allow it. Like
Okay.
one of my stable mates, like one of my coaches, my assistant coach, he was actually out of town and he had some important stuff he was dealing with.
Okay.
So he doesn't allow us to spar without his supervision.
Okay. That's fair. Fair enough.
So you know what I'm saying. So that was one guy. Then I was actually trying to get some work with my boy Frank Martin.
Okay.
Actually,
Yeah. And you spotted him before. I know you spotted him before the Tank fight.
yeah. So I was trying to get him, but he had some stuff going on too. So it was just kind of like everything just kind of kept not panning out. So I just pretty much me and my dad, we was like, man, we just gonna have to try to make do. And it was what it was. So even that flash knockdown in the first round, I honestly think it was really because of that. Because really, the shot, I wasn't hurt at all. Like I really wasn't. It was more so really just you always kind of get a little um blindsided by the shot that you don't see. And honestly, I
Correct.
didn't see that left hand.
Yeah. Okay. Well, fair enough. In your pro career, you're gonna make adjustments and you're gonna have a chance to improve fight by fight. So as long as
Yeah,
as long as you're going to the gym and you're correcting these things, there's no fault in making mistakes in the ring as long as you correct them going
of
forward.
course, of
You
course.
know, one thing I do like about you, I would say your best quality that you've shown in your career so far is your resilience. Because when you get dropped, if they don't get you out of there, their ass is grass. Like because you started with Villanueva, you started with Dasmarinas. That's probably one of the main reasons I like watching you fight because I know you're gonna get in there and you're gonna really fight hard and you may get hurt, but I know if they don't finish you, then it's gonna be very very long night for them.
Yeah, you go. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you now, the only way you're going to finish me, you have to knock me out, and
Yeah,
that's a hard feat, bro. Like for anybody, you're going to have to put me to sleep in order to. If you think you're going to drop me and that's going to end the fight, I'm very. That's what I'm thinking. Like it may not seem like it based on the circumstances or whatever, but I'm very defensively aware. It's just more so. I had to overcome some little issues that I built, little just bad habits, little small ticky tack stuff, but it all is important when you in that ring,
correct.
ultimately. So But you
especially
know,
at the world class level where everybody's like really really good. You know, the
right,
smallest things make the difference.
exactly. And it's just, like simple things like I'm big, bro. Like I'm a big fighter. I was big. I was the biggest fighter at 22, and I'm big as shit at 26 too. Like I said, and that just all goes into my story. I fought like people. I often got criticized for my loss to what's his name? Giovanni Cabrera,
Yeah,
right? He's a 140 pounder now. So
yeah. He
think
fought
about it.
Zepeda. He fought Zepeda.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but the dude is like damn near like he can fight at 40. He be fighting at 40, 35, all that. Bottom line is what I'm saying is that I just went up to 126. So just kind of if you just really think about it from a logical standpoint, we fought 7 years ago.
Yep.
So it's like I literally could if I had the knowledge that I have now, I would have been fighting in a way lower weight class instead of fighting him at 30. You know what I'm saying? Where he didn't even make weight for that fight. He even told me, I have DMs where he was even saying, "No, bro, I was really a 35 pounder fighting 30 at that time." So I'm just saying, like, it just really goes to show, bro. A lot of like once again, like we just said, a lot of the small details they matter, and that's all. I mean, and I've been criticized a lot for small certain stuff like that, but it all just goes into the story, and it's only gonna make it that much more. Um, it's gonna make the victories that much more like
Sweeter.
yeah, genuine for me because it's just like y'all gonna see y'all really have not seen nowhere near my best, and I'm still learning, I'm still growing, I'm just each fight is getting bigger and bigger. Now I'm actually in line for a title eliminator. This so I've been told.
Ooh, which organization?
I'm
Can you
going
say?
down. Yeah, I'm going WBO.
That's what I thought. That's what I assumed because I was looking at the rankings and I felt like that was the route you were gonna go. Because
Yeah,
based on like who you have behind you, I know like with the you're still with Gibbons, right?
yeah,
Gibbons.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So I know they got like super strong relationships with everybody in front of you in the rankings, like a lot of the Japanese fighters,
yeah,
things like
yeah.
that. So
See, and what's the name? uh, Nick Ball, he really don't want to face me. He didn't want to face Shushu either. Like
he didn't want to face anybody that's a featherweight because he hasn't fought any featherweight since he won the title. Everybody's been at
that
122.
exactly. So yeah, he's not So I was already like I wasn't even finna play with that. So and then as far as WBC, I already knew that was gonna be a tough call just because that's the only organization I haven't been ranked because of some political stuff that happened when I was with my former promoter. I don't know whatever happened with that. They took me out the rankings and then I just had never been. It did. I don't know what happened. Now I'm like number 16, I believe, or something. But
Okay,
I don't
yeah.
know.
I mean
So
that's a tough one to go anyway because there's so much going on there. You got
yeah,
interim champion, you got
yeah,
champion in
exactly.
recess. So yeah, it's tough over there. But
Yeah, and then as far as the IBF, I mean, I don't exactly know all the ramifications about the IBF or whatever. But all I know, they just said, we're going for WBO. I said, cool. Whether it's Espinoza, whether it's Fulton, Ball, whoever, it don't matter to me. It's never mattered to me, and I know that that we didn't interview enough for you to, understand. I don't give a fuck about
you
whoever.
don't you don't give a flying fuck about who you fight. Like
No,
I know if I because I mean there's guys in the featherweight division I feel like would make sense for fights, but you're just gonna go whatever is into the title, pretty much.
yeah, literally.
Okay, okay. Um, I saw now I found this interesting. I know it was a while ago for you, it was a couple months ago, but I thought it was interesting because I spent a lot of time in Japan over the last couple of years, and
Yeah,
I saw you was out there. You was sparring Nishida. You were part of his camp for the Junto fight.
that
Uh, what,
shit.
what was that a whole experience like? And what how did you enjoy Japan? What was the Japan
Bro,
experience like?
bro, it was life changing. I ain't gonna lie, that shit was life changing. Like, cause one, that was always my number one country to visit. Like, I always wanted to visit Japan. I've always been a fan of the culture of Japan. I've loved that shit. I mean, and really, just honestly, I'm not even gonna say just Japan. Really, just Asian culture in general. I've always loved Asian culture. So like my dad was a big Bruce Lee fan as well.
Okay.
So it's kind of like what I'm saying. It's just kind of all somewhat intertwined in a sense from growing up, just always seeing it. So Japan, man, just seeing how endearing they were to the fighters. Like when people found out, like, 'cause I think a lot of people have that misconception. They think just because you're a minority that you're gonna automatically be like accepted and favorite over there, and that's not necessarily the case. Like I've seen other, minorities over there, and they just treated like normal. But whenever people found out I was a world ranked fighter, like they treated me like royalty.
Yeah.
And it was amazing, dude. Like it was like from I mean, women to men, everything. Like, dude, like I said, I know you probably seen. I punched the security guard in the stomach.
I've seen that. Yeah. Well, he asked you to punch him in the
Yeah,
stomach.
dude, literally, like I was outside the club. I went to a nightclub, and uh did I bring no I didn't bring my belt, but I just remember I was talking to somebody, and then I was like, I'm a boxer, and he overheard me. He was like, oh, you a boxer, what you do? And then, yeah, I pulled up my Wikipedia and showed him, and he
Yeah.
he just started like fanning out, like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he got all his security guard buddies, and he's like, yo, he's a champion, and da, 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 da. And it was dope, man. And they just, he's like, please, it would be an honor if you would punch me in my stomach. I was like,
I seen it. You punched the shit out of his stomach.
okay. And the crazy part was, I kid you not, I promise, I was not trying to hurt that kid too, because
Yeah.
I really could have, like, I didn't even dig it in. I just
No,
gave
I
him
know. I know. I seen
yeah.
it. Well, the thing is, he's a civilian, man. You punch
I know.
civilians. They don't. They're not training every day. They don't got abs to steal like the fighters do. So.
No, but sure. I mean, he was telling me he works out though. He's like he works out a lot or whatever. So I mean, but bottom line, he was a good, real cool dude, real cool. He ended up messaging me the next morning, and he was like, "Man, it hurt so bad, but he's like, it was such an honor, man. I'm gonna train even harder so you don't drop my ass next time and all that." It was cool, man.
That's pretty cool, man. Well, you might. Who knows, man? I mean, you might be out in Japan again fighting because, like I said, you got the WBO. You got Toshiki Shiomashi 2, Kenji Fujita 4, and Ryuta Owan 5. So there's a possibility. It's a big possibility. And then I know Neri signed. I think he signed a contract with a Japanese promoter as well. So
Yeah. I think it was Kameda.
Kameda, yeah,
Yeah.
Kameda and them. Yep.
Yeah, I think same with Casimero. Casimero, he trying to get the fight with me too. So he says he's claiming to or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know. Casimiro, he hasn't really been a serious fighter for about half a decade now, like 5 years, about four or
that's what
5 years.
I mean. I'm already knowing. I mean, cause trust me, I definitely pressed that button, and I talked to Sean and them about it. I was like, dude, I'll bust this dude ass. Like, what is he serious? And then he was like, man, he just trolling or whatever. I'm like, okay, all right, whatever.
Yeah. That fight's not happening. I don't think that's a realistic fight. But fights that could be realistic for you. I know you went on Twitter and you called out Mirko Cuello and Brandon Figueroa. Those are two fights out there for you. Figueroa is ranked 3 in the WBO as well, so that's also a possible guy for that eliminator fight.
Yeah.
Did you see Figueroa's last fight against Joel Gonzalez on the Fight card?
No, actually, you know what? I didn't. I sure didn't.
Yeah.
I actually meant to watch it. So I'm actually glad you brought it up because I remember I can tap in on that. But
because I thought he lost that fight. And I think if you guys fought, that'd be a really entertaining fight. Two southpaws, two aggressive southpaws.
man, see that, and that's the thing. Like, like once again, like I was saying, it's so much. It's just so much that goes into this, man. Because it's like I'm a lot stronger than these guys, like physically.
Physically, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of the times, I get, it just mental. That's where I'm in the gym. Like now, I'm a lot more focal on it. Like I'm more focal on making sure that I'm able to really service my boxing ability. Like, cause I was always a natural boxer. Everybody used to call me, when I used to go by Sweet Pea back in the day, everybody used to compare me to Pernell, cause that I used to fight. That was who I was, used to watch all the time. That was who I used to kind of more so,
Like,
be on more slicker type of, boxer more style, whatever. But obviously once I found my power and I found, that I could get these guys up out of there, then, I've kind of, went into that a little bit more. And that just ultimately like, just a small fix, and I just had to be a little bit more focal on not being so anxious to always knock these guys out, even though I know I can get them out. So, like I said, moving forward, people, they'll see the improvement.
Nah, for sure. I'm looking forward to that, man. I know one guy. I saw you going back and forth. I don't know why you guys were going back and forth because you guys aren't in the same weight class. But you were going back and forth with Raymond Ford.
Man, this dude,
What
okay.
was that about? Because I was doing my research for the interview today, and I remember seeing it a couple weeks ago, and I was like, why is he going back and forth with Ford?
See, man, the whole thing was for like, there was a point in time I was calling out everybody. Like I was vying for the big fights. I wanted the big fights. I called him out when he was at 26. And this is
Okay.
when yeah, so I was at 22 and I was I was he's only a weight class apart, so I was like, let's do it. See if we can make that happen. And I remember I called him out. Oh no, I remember. Okay, he fought he fought one of my old sparring partners, Edward Vasquez.
Correct.
And I thought he lost that
I
fight.
thought I
I
lost
really
that fight
did.
too.
And so now, mind you, that was my sparring partner. Like I've me and Eddie Edward, we didn't have some good sparring, but you know what I'm saying. I felt favorable in that fight, so I'm like, yeah, like I want, and I know he had a big name. I was like, yeah, let me get him for sure. So I called him out, and of course, the first thing these dudes do, they get so offended when you call them out, like they just start talking all this shit or whatever. So we just end up beefing about or whatever. Nothing really materialized out of it. I'll just I'm like, bro, you scared? If you scared, just say that. But nothing materialized of it. So at the blue, I don't know where the hell. Like, I'm like, dude, he at 30 now. You two weight, like I mean, well, he was two weight class. Now it's one again. But I'm like, dude, like, you just random as hell. He just literally hit me at the blue and just started talking shit, and I was like, huh? Like, okay. I'm like, I still will whoop your ass if that's what you want. I
What
mean,
was the first thing he said? What's the first message? The first thing he said to you in the DMs?
he oh no, because somebody oh no, it was an old comment from like 6 months ago that I had left on a top rank post,
Okay.
or I believe it's. I mean, no, my fault. It was on a matchroom post, I believe, or it was on it was a boxing post. I commented on the post, like I said, this 6 months ago, and I was like, I congratulated him on his victory. I don't know who it was against. I can't remember him, but I just remember I congratulated him. I was like, hey, a good win. Me and you still got unfinished business. I hope to see you soon or something like that. And then I guess I don't know if he just had seen that or maybe or something. I don't know. Like I said, it was 6 months ago, but he ended up commenting on no, a fan commented on it. It was like you can't beat Ford or something or some shit. And then he commented, yeah, he basically like seconded it. He was like, yeah, he can't beat me or he's scared of me or something. It was some shit like that. So obviously I commented and I was like, what, nigga, I will whoop your ass. Like, what are you talking about? And then he started lying, started capping, talking about, oh, well, I sent you a contract and you said you didn't want to do it right now or some shit like that. And I was like, huh? Like,
What was that?
yeah, man, like get the fuck out of here, dude. So I mean, I have all the DMs and I posted some of them, but like in the past, but all right, man, don't make me go pull up these DMs, dude. Like I ain't like you bringing this like. Ain't nobody even thinking about you right now. Like I said, I'm trying to get me a world title at 26. Now, after that, I get my world title. I'll gladly come up to 30 and whoop your ass. Please. Because honestly, I want to go undisputed at 30. That's my plan. Anyway.
Is that because like you feel like you'd be physically stronger up there? You feel out
I
better
mean,
at
not
30?
not just stronger. Like I said, the weight cuts are still, they're still somewhat like I've had to learn how to diet. I had to learn a lot of knowledge to maintain these weights and stuff like that. Because like as I have said, once again, I started my career fighting at my natural weight. I used to fight 130, 135. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know. So once I got the knowledge and I'm seeing, okay, all these guys are fucking weight bullying and dropping hella pound, and I'm at a disadvantage. Of course, what do you think I'm gonna do?
Drop down in weight.
Yeah, I'm gonna even the scale. I mean, even the scales. So I did. Once I learned how to do so, and obviously you've seen the results. I'm knocking everybody the fuck out. So I'm just there. That's why I was going. Pretty much saying like, yeah, I had known this prior to my first loss, I'm almost pot like for certain I would have been undisputed, or I would have beat Inoue a long time ago. And I just believe that wholeheartedly, and nobody will never make me second guess myself because I know my ability and I know what I can do. It's just end of the day, I've had to learn, I've had to grow, and God is in charge of of everything. You know what I'm saying? Like we all have our own paths, and I'm making mine, step by step.
That's it. That's it. And that's an important thing for fighters is no matter what people like me in the media say or fans, you got to always have that belief in yourself because all it takes is that one fight, and now everybody's now they're gonna have to give you your credit. You guys get the ultimate say at the end of the day in the ring. All we do is just talk and have fun talking about the fights.
Thanks. And see, and that's something like I used to be a little bit more critical and like upset and emotional over and stuff. But then as I've matured and gotten older, I'm like, man, end of the day, people that's what they, like I said, they don't they're always gonna judge what they don't understand or what they don't know. You know what I'm saying? So you can't always fault people and get all mad because somebody thinks you might lose or thinks you can't beat this person or thinks this or whatever the fuck. Like it's not important. End of the day, I'm gonna show up and show out every single time. And if even if I don't give my best performance, that doesn't mean you still gonna beat me. Don't mean I'm still gonna like that ain't gonna
Yeah.
end of the day, I'm gonna come out with the win. Point blank.
And the thing is too, like you're always every fighter, no matter what weight class it is, every fighter is just one win away from becoming a superstar. You could walk down, you could go to a boxing event, and nobody will stop you for a picture, right? And then you beat like let's say you beat like an Inoue, and everyone wants to stop you. It's one of the it's how it goes. I've seen it.
I'm telling you, and then and see even the whole thing about Inoue, like I said, I've never not once. I mean, everybody can go fact check, go look at every interview that's on YouTube, whatever. I ain't never once disrespected that man and said he's not a great fighter. He's a great fighter. Yeah, he's a great fighter. I don't take that away from him, but that don't mean I'm not finna kiss his ass like all y'all motherfuckers and say, oh yeah, he's gonna beat me. He's too strong. Like no, I will whoop him too, and I believe that.
Well,
I believe that because he ain't never fought. Anyway, has not fought no one like me, and I mean that in so many different categories, from size to strength, power, the whole nine. Like even athleticism. I would be the most athletic fighter that Inoue has fought. I would probably be one of the strongest that he's fought. So therefore, it's not like, and on top of that, I'm just way bigger than him, bigger, taller, everything. So it's like he has disadvantages he had to overcome too. It's not like he's just gonna be able. See, like Neri, Doheny, all those other guys, they're all those guys about 5'4". Like they're small guys just like him. So there's you know what I'm saying? Like
you're bringing different dimensions to the table. You're bringing different challenges from to overcome. That's what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's bottom line. So just pretty much with that being said, like I said, it would be now if he just it's not gonna fucking happen. But I'm just saying, like if he were to just clean me like everybody thinks he would do and just knock me out like willy nilly, okay, yeah, maybe he just some special fucking super saiyan of a fighter or whatever, but the case may be. But that's just to be realistic, bro. It's not gonna happen. It's not,
Okay.
I promise
So
that.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate. So in a way, fan here is that they say, well, what about Stephen Fulton? Do you think you're a better challenger in a way than a guy like Stephen Fulton? Stephen Fulton's being this guy. He's won this title, that title. What makes you any different than Stephen Fulton?
I promise I will knock him out. I promise I will fucking knock him out. Oh my god. Like, dude, well, the whole thing with him, like, good. He can box. I've always said he can box. Even another thing, I don't never hate on nobody.
Correct.
Nobody. I am a realist. I don't do that. Just because I don't like you or whatever. I don't hate though. That's corny. That's like goofy energy. I'm always gonna give respect what credit is due. He's a great boxer and he's done some amazing things in the sport.
Correct.
But in terms like it's with me, it's a lot more that goes into fighting. It's character. It's grit. It's
The intangibles.
yeah, exactly. And he can't compare to me in that regard. I'm hungry. That dude, like after the whole Inoue situation happened with him, or whatever, he don't got that shit in his. He don't got that dog in him like that. That's just me. I don't believe he does. And I feel like I've seen that with Carlos Castro when he got his ass dropped. And people try to use that as an excuse. Oh, he been at the ring and blah blah blah.
Nah, he got
I'm like,
dropped.
I'm like, nah, that has nothing to do with it. I'm just, if he get hit by me like that, he's not getting up. And like, quote, you can quote me on that. And like I said, and there's a reason why he wouldn't fight me. Like, if I would, because I mean, people got to be realistic too about that. Like, that shit gets on my nerves. Like, people try to act like I'm so unqualified for these fights. When I'm like, okay, first of all, a lot of these dudes who a lot of these guys have already beaten have way worse records than me. First of all, and like, I'm trying to. Oh, I remember I had a fucking list. I made a list at one point. I wish I could remember the names off rip. Um, Even now, like, what's that dude?
Like, are these like Fulton opponents or Inoue opponents?
Yeah, I mean, just it was in. I had made a list. I had did a video, and it was about like all of them. And I was like, 'cause it was just annoying me how people kept saying that, like, oh, you can't, you're not qualified to fight these top guys or whatever. And I'm like, fucking how? Like, it don't make no sense.
You're
I
in the
didn't see.
rankings.
Yeah,
Once you get in the rankings, your names get near them. You're qualified.
is that and it's not that I'm just in the rank. I'm top 5 in the rankings. Like,
Yeah.
I'm up there. Like, huh? Like, how am I not qualified for these fights? That don't make any sense. And so, and a lot of I'll pretty much, it was like a lot of the guys that Fulton was beating. I remember specifically him. They had similar records to the guys that I had beaten. Now, he had beaten a couple more undefeated fighters than me. I would say that.
Yeah.
A couple more. But at the end of the day, they were still like very similar. A lot of the guys I was beating too. Like, when I had beat Tremaine Williams, other guys, maybe had like one loss or one or two losses or whatever the case may be. Like, what I'm saying? Like, they were world title challengers, they were credible opponents end of the day. So I was like, the fight is not just this far fetched thing or whatever. And I'm like, if Fulton, even if let's say if you wanted to do a tune up or whatever the case may be, let's fight. I mean, if you got beef, let's handle it in the ring like professionals instead of doing all this jaw jacking, talking about fighting on the street and all that lame ass
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. I was there when you guys got into it. I remember.
Yeah, I know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. And you're just, talking about fighting. Like, after that aftermath, he kept talking about, because I got more pissed off because during when you, like I said, when you was there and we was in
Yeah.
Vegas,
Yeah.
I really wasn't trying to be on one with him. I actually had a lot of respect for Fulton, and I was really trying to, like, I wanted to pull him to the side and be like, "Yo, bro, like, hold up, what's up with all this animosity? Like, why you doing all that? Like, I ain't got no problem with you, bro. Like, that's what I wanted to say to him. But since he did bring me in front of the cameras, the first thing I was thinking about was, are we gonna fight? I'm not thinking about what happened, what transpired to make that happen. He was focusing on that. That's why I kept saying the same thing. I'm like, dude, he asked me a question about you. Like, what are you talking about? Because I didn't have really even full understanding of why he was even mad. I just
Yeah.
was like, are we gonna fight? And then the interviewer from Fight Hype said, who do you see winning if y'all fight? I said, me by knockout. Like, because I know
Gotta
I
believe in
fuck,
yourself. Gotta believe in
yeah.
yourself.
And I know, but I genuinely, I'm gonna, if I fucking knock him out, if I touch his chin, he's going to bed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. So and it was just, he played it how he played. He played it like Hollywood, like, oh, y'all really believe this thing, whatever, whatever. So I'm like, okay then. So I mean, to me, that's showing like a line of fear, and that's just me, like, from us, like, from a psychology standpoint. If you don't want to, if you doing all this beefing with me online and all this shit, talking about how you want to fight me on the street and how you gonna smack me when you see me and do all this type of shit or whatever, but then you get in a situation like that where I'm literally telling you I'm gonna knock your ass out to your face, and I'm looking dead at you, and then you don't want to address it. You don't even want to entertain the idea of a fight because of what? I mean, to me, that just doesn't make. I don't know. I don't
It,
understand it as a man, but that everybody can look, critique in different ways.
his I mean, I'm not gonna speak for the man, but I feel like from his perception, he feels like he's been on that highest level, and he feels
Yeah,
like you're not there. So he's looking at you as a small fish.
of
So
course, of course,
yeah, yeah,
and that's what I figured, obviously. But that's the whole. But that, once again, is kind of like, okay, well, if I'm such a small fish, then that should be even more of an inclination for you to prove it. Prove it. Prove I'm a small fish. And it's like, and I genuinely wholeheartedly feel like the reason he really doesn't want to press that button with me is because of what happened with Inoue. And I seen how everybody switched on him, how everybody changed on him. Everybody, pretty much called him, oh, Fulton trash. He ain't this and he ain't that. After he lost to Inoue, so now if he was to lose to me, and which indeed he will,
It'd be way
his career,
worse.
yeah, his
Yeah,
career would it'd probably be on the downslide after that, and
yeah,
that
yeah,
and that just being not just because of the perception and how people these days, these casual fans, and how much influence that they've kind of put themselves in boxing or whatever. It would definitely damage his reputation like tenfold. So at that point, I was kind of like that. Okay, I see why your ass is trying to play it how you playing it, because he know he can say whatever he want to do. No, I'm dangerous, dude. I don't got all these knockouts for no fucking reason. And,
yeah,
and I've been knocking out bigger guys too. At that, like, come on, bro. Like,
yeah. I want to make it clear though. I didn't. Stephen Fulton still is one of the best, one of the better fighters out there. He's one of the best
yeah,
fighters out there.
for
So
sure,
any if you go ahead and you do beat him, that's gonna skyrocket your career. So that's why you
of
want to fight
course,
him.
of course.
But last question, Eliza. Last question before I let you go. Earlier in the interview, you kept alluding to these people don't know where you come from. Like you kept saying, people don't know where you come from, so they won't understand. So where do you come from? What did it take to get here?
I mean, really, just like it's been nothing but pain, bro. Like, and when I say that, like I've always been very family oriented,
Mm-hmm.
like extremely, and like I said, when that was the whole reason why I changed my name. I don't know if I explained this to you before in previous interviews or whatnot, but like I said, the wolf comes from the one of the most organic places. It's like why I changed my name, like why I named myself this. It's like it's all relevant to the experiences that I've had in life, for real.
Your
Like
nickname or your last name?
no, my nickname, the
Okay,
wolf.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's like that. Like that's my spirit animal. You know what I'm saying? Like I like the way how I've always been big on loyalty, and I've always um just the nature of who I am. It's always kind of came about in that way. So it's like from the experiences of me getting a divorce, and like
Mm-hmm.
when I was fighting, and then going through all that drama, that was a big phase of my life, and then ultimately I ended up getting custody of my daughter. God, thank God. And that, me being a father is the most important blessing in my life. Like I do not play about fatherhood. I endure fatherhood with everything in me. So like my kids are like they mean everything to me. So even at this point with my son, I was having issues with my son's mother. I was going through a custody battle until me and her actually right before this Dasmarinas fight. Matter of fact.
Damn. Okay.
But like I said, these are things people don't know, and I don't. It's not for them to know. This is my personal life. But end
Correct.
of the
Correct.
day, me and her, we ended up working things out, and everything is great now. And we're I have my daughter. I mean, and I have a split custody with my son. Now I'm able to see my son freely and everything else. So everything is well and fine. But there's moments in time where I've had to overcome some things that have really been wrenching to the heart a
Correct.
lot.
Correct.
And it's and I'm talking about not even just, it's been so many different things from janky like management to
Yep. Yep.
bro, I mean to family issues, like all types of stuff. And then like not even I ain't even just talking about my love life. I mean just family,
Family
all
life.
types of stuff. Yeah, just I went through a lot, man, to get here. And it's like having to overcome that, being from a small state,
Oklahoma.
not necessarily having the financial backing or opportunities that a lot of these other guys have had to push them along further. I mean, just it's been a struggle for real. And literally even like when I lost to Segawa, right?
Yep.
I lost to him. I trained 2 weeks for that fight. Like literally, like I trained 2 weeks. That was the worst training camp I've literally ever like. That was the entirely worst training camp. I ended up getting sick two times back to back. I caught the flu, had the flu for a week. Then right after that, as soon as I recovered from the damn flu, I got pink eye a day later. And I had pink eye, so I couldn't. It was just bad, bro. Like literally everything that could have went went wrong in that camp, and
Okay.
I didn't have the knowledge to get out of it, which is the sad part. Like
It,
literally, I was told if I pulled out the fight, I was gonna be suspended for a year, because
oh,
obviously if you pull out of a fight without cause or whatever, you get suspended. But like I said, it just been me and my father. My father, he just, don't get me wrong, like my father's a great coach, great technical, all that. But he don't know. He just a dad that just loved the game. You know what
About
I'm
the
saying?
he doesn't know about the boxing industry and how
Yeah,
things.
he didn't know. He
Yeah,
didn't know shit. He didn't know
yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
So ultimately, we didn't know we could have pulled out the fight had we, knew the steps to take in order to do so.
Okay.
Now, you know what I'm saying? He didn't know. All he was knows that he told you like, son, they said if you don't fight and you get suspended for a year. Obviously, I can't do that. I'm a married man with a kid and I got a whole family to take care of. So I'm like, well, fuck. Like, well, shit.
So
Okay, well, I guess I gotta fight. So
it's a lot of fights outside the ring before you even get in the ring that you got to win.
man, too many, too many. But as I've said in prior, like I said, once again in prior interviews, nobody's gonna beat a fully focused and prepared Elijah. Like,
How do you overcome those things? Like how do you overcome divorce? You mentioned family issues, promoters and crooked managers. How do you overcome all that?
I
God.
said, first and foremost, you got to give it all to God first and foremost. Then after that, I mean, it's really looking at life through the lens. My dad, he would always see one thing I always credit him and my stepfather. I've always had a very wise and mature men around me, like my whole life. Even all my older brothers, like I've always had good men around me. You know what I'm saying? So having that example of resilience, from my grandfather down, just always men who are who persevere, strive, and work hard, just all that. That's definitely played a part in my upbringing. And me, I will never quit ever. Like you're never gonna catch me quitting. You ain't never gonna catch me. Like I said, if I'm hurt, whether I don't give a fuck. Like you gonna have to kill me. Like I'll fight you with a broken hand. I'll fight you with broken arm, broken leg. It don't matter. Like whatever it is, you gonna have to put me down to where I can't get up to stop me. And if you can't do that, you gonna always have that chance of losing with me because that's just how I'm coming. Like I move off heart. Like, and that's one of the things, like even like Rocky used to be my favorite movie. That was one of the things I always loved the most about Rocky. Just seeing the
Resilience, like the resilience.
yeah, just the way that he would, even though I know it's a movie, like, cause honestly, I'm a movie fanatic. Like, I watch that. That's my favorite thing to do is watch movies. So, especially older movies. So, seeing him just kind of like pushing the way he did and the emotional aspect of it, like when he fought Clubber Lang, when Mickey died or whatever they call that,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
all
yeah.
that shit, like that shit, just like I don't know, it always hit different for me, and I was like. Yeah, I feel that. Like, what I'm saying? Just that never quit, that grit, just what I'm saying? I ain't finna let nothing stop me. I'm a to the last bell.
Well, I gotta give it to you, man. I never been married, but I would assume that divorce is probably the most painful thing a man can go through. So if you overcame that, that's
Yeah.
way harder than any fight. I'll give you that one.
Dude, I mean, but and that's what I'm saying to go into man. I mean, like I said, I ain't gonna make no excuses, man. But no, but you're absolutely when you're a man who's built on principles and morals and values like I am,
Correct.
and yeah, that shit is it is undoubtedly like heart wrenching, like just straight up, it hurts bad, and especially when you have children involved as well.
Yeah, I
So
can't. I can't imagine. That's like my worst fear. My like if I ever were to get married and that would have happened to me, like that's like the craziest thing I fear.
yeah, bro. So it is what it is, man. It made me who I am today. It made me stronger. It made me wiser. It made me better. Ultimately, and like I said, I still got a lot growing to do. I ain't never said I was perfect. I ain't never said, oh, I'm just complete and can't nobody touch me or whatever, this and that. Oh, like I know I'm still growing. I know it's a lot more to improve on and everything else. And I'm just now scratching the surface with this shit. Like I just now start being able to really like tap in. Well, like I'll say tap into like the more upper echelon aspect of boxing. Being
Correct. Yeah.
around the top five. Just all this type of stuff. Like now it's finally here. Like now I'm like, wow, like I did it. I fucking did this shit. Like man, can't nobody say nothing to me. Like I worked my way off from ground zero. Matter of fact, really twice because coming from the amateurs, like I said, I beating Bruce Carrington. Me and him, we got our little rivalry, whatever, 1-on-1, whatever. It's my dog. But and the other good fighters I faced in the trials or whatever, having going into the pros off of that, I had some credibility to me and whatnot. And by the time I was 8-0 or whatever, like I had some interest in the top organizations. But after I had my first loss, which I already explained or whatever, that took away from it. And then I came back. I beat Irving Gonzalez, which is one of Lou DiBella's top prospects. Made some headway again. I got signed to Lou DiBella, was getting ready to start fighting on TV, and that was finna be my little rise. But God had other plans. Ended up going through the divorce, whatever, fought Segawa, boom, all the way back to ground zero. Like they wrote me all the way off. After I lost to Segawa, it was I almost quit. It
It's
was
not
almost
even. That's
perfect.
not even. I mean, that's not even really a bad loss because Suleiman Segawa, I'd argue he's one of the best featherweights in the world, but nobody talks about him because
Yeah, but that's what
he
I'm
fought
saying.
him.
That's just it's that perception. That's what I'm saying. So I was actually a good fighter, but it's just the perception. So that perception almost had me. That was the closest I ever came to quitting. Actually, like I was like, I didn't know what to do. Like all the promoters, all the managers, all that, they all wrote me off. Like everybody was like, "Oh, he's," and then
I already know how it goes because I got friends in the fight game and I seen them lose fights, and I seen how promoters and managers treat them. So it's like it's
man,
cold. It's really cold.
yeah, bro, cold as hell. Shit cold. That's why, man. That's why I love my team. I give all credit to my team, especially my manager, Tryfon Petrov. Like that dude, like he literally found me online, and he has been literally like a life changer, like for real. Like that dude gave me a chance when nobody else would, and then look at me now. Like I said, I'm gearing up for this title eliminator soon. I'm waiting on the details surrounding that, and after I beat whoever whoever they put in front of me, I'll get my chance at Espinoza,
Oof.
and then I'm best believe I guarantee people are they the whole whatever the mindset is about me now. I guarantee around when that fight happens, it'll be a complete 360. That's
Oh,
all I'm saying. I'm
it'll
not even
have to
talking
be.
about winning, or I'm not talking about none of that. Because I mean, obviously, I believe I'm gonna win all that, but I'm just mean in general. People will see a performance, and they will give you the respect that I've earned.
Yeah, because a lot of people they believe that Espinoza is the number one featherweight in the world right now. So you go on there, even if okay, obviously you believe you're gonna win, but even if you do so much as like hurt him in the fight, regardless of the outcome, which you got a big chance to because you really punch him like that, all of a sudden people are gonna say, "Damn, that Pierce, he's not no joke."
I'm trying to tell you. So I mean, I'm like I said, man, this is all written, man. Like I honestly, I even think the correlation to my name even being Elijah, why my dad named me Elijah, it's so much that goes into all this, bro. Like,
Prophecy, biblical.
yes,
Yeah,
exactly. So I mean, I'm not gonna act like I'm just super religious and this and that and the third,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
definitely, I'm definitely very spiritual, man. I definitely have a divine connection with God. I'm an avid believer in God, and I just believe everything happens for a reason. And like I said, I'm here. No one's gonna deter me. I just said it at my post fight interview. And yes, if you step in that ring with me, I will put you on your ass if you are not careful. If you think you're gonna overrun me, if you think you got an easy win with me, I promise that is your biggest mistake. That's the biggest mistake anybody can make in there with me. I am not one of them that just gonna lay down. I will never let
Quit.
anybody dictate my future, man. Like I done worked so hard, especially for my kids, having my kids right there, watching they dad
Mm.
fight for them. Come on, dog. Like,
That's enough fuel. That's not, you got enough fuel for 2 lifetimes with your
come
kids
on,
there.
man. You already
But
know.
Elijah, any final message you want to give to the boxing world about yourself, and even in the future, like if people come back a year, 2 years, 3 years from now, they watch this interview. You got any message to anybody in the future about you becoming champion or you fighting like Rafael Espinoza or anything like that?
Man, honestly, I feel like most of the time, I mean, I've done so many interviews at this point. I feel like I've said it all in different regards.
You have,
You know, everybody knows I'm a shit talker. I don't mind talking shit. I'll talk
and
shit
I,
because I
I
because
love
I
it.
have to. I have to because people are not going. They have not given me my respect, and I've had to put myself in front of the masses for them to see me, to really like, you know what I'm saying, to even give me a chance, even give me some type of credibility or whatever. So end of the day, you know what I'm saying? But that you know, that's not necessarily just me at the root. Like I'm like I said, I'm a family man. I'm a good guy. Like I said, I'm cool. Anybody who shows love to me, I undoubtedly reciprocate and give it right back. You know, even like I said, that's why I sent you the message I even sent you. Just because at least I respect how you report. It's actually like journalism. It don't come off as just somebody who probably don't even fucking box and always got an opinion. Oh yeah, you can't beat this. Like I
No, no,
can't stand that. Like that shit
nah.
annoys.
I mean, I've done a good amount of sparring, so I have an idea of what on a small level what you guys go through. And I got friends in the fight game, you know, different fighters, the weight classes and stuff. So I've been in training camps. I've seen boxing at that level.
Yeah.
So I have a respect for it, a big respect for it, because it's fucking hard. It's the hardest sport in the world by far.
No, for sure, but it's just like I said, it's the way that you at least, even if you necessarily didn't feel like I'm who I am, if you didn't feel that way, it's the way that you, like I said, you ultimately give credit where credit is due, and you know what I'm saying. It's a respectful nature about it. You ain't just out there talking shit about somebody. And like I said, me, I give all the respect to the world because, like I said, nobody don't owe me nothing. You don't owe
Correct.
me shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't owe nobody else nothing. It's your program. This is what you do. So
Yeah.
ultimately, like I said, I'm just appreciative that you giving me the respect, having me on your platform, allowing me to share my story and allowing people to witness, the birth of a champion. I'm a true underdog story. Like I'm real deal, like one of them ones who fought for every single fucking crevice of what they got in this game. Like I did not get no handout. I got no gifts. I got no nothing. I don't got no extra political connections, no Jake Paul got 1 million followers and shit, and
No,
got
no, no.
to ease my way in the game. I literally had to build every single thing on this shit. So for me to be here, it means everything, and I'm just ready to fight some more. It just make me want to fight that much harder.
Yeah,
So,
you get me excited.
I mean, you know what I'm saying. So really, I'll say lastly to all the youngins who aspire to do this, because even my I have one fighter that I'm training.
Okay.
He's 18 going. I mean, actually he's 19 now, but he just had his second amateur fight. He's 2-0.
Okay.
So I didn't build him from the ground up. So like I'm very excited for his future as well. But I tell all the youngest, man. My favorite quote. I always started off with that. No matter the conditions in the wilderness, a wolf will never eat grass. And once
Okay.
again, just doubling down on that, it's about resilience. Like I said, I could settle for this grass because I'm starving. I need to eat. I could settle for this grass right here. Fuck that. Nah, I'm going there. I'm getting that 5-course meal. I want that steak. I'm about to go get that bison. I'm about to go get that deer. I'm about to go get whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to get full bellied on the ass. Like, I'm not playing. Like I'll do whatever I need to do in order to get what I want out of what I'm trying to get. So in end of the day, I feel like that. I don't know. That quote has always hit me. It was so powerful to me because it's
It's
like,
very,
man,
very philosophical.
yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like it really hit my nerve, and I'm like, yo, like that's really what I want to embody. I want to show people that it don't matter exactly your circumstances. It, like pretty much what I showed him even in this last fight. It ain't how you start, it's how you finish.
That's how you finish. There you go. Elijah Pierce, thank you.
Oh man, you already know, bro. Anytime.
All right. Thank you, bro.